Hello, everyone. It's Andre here from SWL. This is Ifrikya FM, the Algerian Pan-African radio station that transmits on FM and shortwave. This is an English program. They transmit in Arabic, French, English, and some other languages, but this is the very first time that I have actually heard them in English. It is an interview with Samia Nkrumah, the daughter of Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana. It is quite a long recording. You can listen to some of the discussion. It is about decolonization in Africa and economic development in Africa. And then at the end of the program, there is some music. The announcer also asks listeners to stay tuned at the end because other interviews will follow in other languages.
Ghana, as became independent in 1957. Take note of the date. 57. It's not one of, it's not, I believe, the first country south of the Sahara Desert to gain independence. So we were one of the pioneers, actually. And immediately after Ghana's independence, we held two main conferences. The All-African People's Conference and the Independence African States. And when our father met with Frantz Fanon and the other independence leaders, he was very impressed with him and he became very involved in the Algerian situation to the extent that he gave Frantz Fanon an office. So as the emissary or ambassador of Algeria, the Algerian people, even before Algeria's war or revolution ended, before Algeria became formally official independent, Ghana had recognized Algeria and the FLN as a state. So that gives you an idea of how committed our father was. Also, when there was, in the 60s, when there was a plan by France to test an atomic bomb in the desert on Algeria, Kwame Nkrumah was one of those who protested and spoke out against it and made sure it does not happen. So for me, this is a great example of the unity between amongst Africans, but particularly between the Arab North Africa and the countries south of the Sahara Desert. So our father was saying one of his speeches that this Sahara Desert must not divide us, but rather unite us. And that in fact, Ghana's independence was meaningless unless it was linked with the total liberation of the whole continent. He said this when he was independent. So he was telling Ghanaians, our independence is meaningless unless it is linked with the total liberation. So what I'm trying to say is the whole idea of decolonization in the continent, it was born with a purpose for us to unite. Once we gained independence, then we are free to unite. Because colonialism came with our, we call it balkanization, dividing us into small countries which are not viable economically. We have to understand that we were deliberately divided so that we cannot be economically strong and independent. So if we've managed to end colonialism, then the next step is to unite our efforts to build our industry, to build our infrastructure, our education, everything, every aspect of our life. And the future of Africa, and not young people in particular, because they are going to take the race. Young people must understand the mission of their generation is for Africa to unite, for Africa Africans to work together in all avenues, all sectors, to make sure that we can provide a better standard of living for our people. So that's the next, let's say, the next challenge, the next struggle is how to develop our country. This is another next. Now that we have at least sovereignty, some countries are more than others. So back to Algeria, one of the things we all admire in this great country is that they are self-reliant. They have maintained the principles of the struggle, and this has made Algeria stand out as a strong country, not only because it's huge geographically, the biggest country I think today geographically. It is one of the countries with big population, and it is also one of the strongest countries in terms of speaking with a voice, with courage, and with consistency in its fight against oppression.
You're talking about the fight against oppression and being the voice of the voiceless. Algeria has indeed contributed a lot. However, this event happening today, gathering the friends of the revolution to find a new solution for the prosperous future. What is your insight about Algeria's efforts to build the future together with different African nations, especially the friends of the revolution?
We are here, it might seem that we are talking about the past only, but we are talking about the past so that we can be inspired and gain some insight as to how we can work together in the present. Because as we say, there's a saying, the past is the present and the present is the future. So our meeting today, it's about going back to see how it happened, how we united to defeat colonialism, and pick up those values, those ideas, those principles, so that we can face today's challenges, the challenges we have to do. And without doubt, particularly for smaller countries, the main challenge for us today is how to gain sovereignty of our economy, how to gain sovereignty in every aspect of our life, so that the wealth we have, our natural wealth, our agricultural wealth, our mineral wealth, even our wealth in being the youngest continent, that's one of our resources. But how can we channel that energy, channel that dynamism, channel that wealth, natural wealth? How can we channel it into better living conditions for our people? Now, number two, the second objective is to have a unified foreign policy. So we have one voice on international affairs. So, for example, on the question of Palestine, what is happening today, the humanitarian crisis, we would have contributed to this crisis, one of humanity's crisis today, if Africa shared with one voice.
Thank you for this insight you shared with us, Samia. However, listening to you to our viewers.
You asked a question before I went back
about the youth. How do you think the youth will contribute to these things happening currently to the future?
As you know, today the average African is a young person. African is a young person. Yes, we are the youngest continent. And this is another blessing, I think, for Africa. And so, but what we need to do, therefore, is that in all our in all our thinking, we should prioritize what the youth needs today. But in doing that, we need to reorient our thinking. The young people have, and all of us, we need to reorient our thinking to conceptualizing or imagining what the African nation is. Because can you imagine 1.3 billion people plus the diaspora all over the world, 1.5 billion people. Can you imagine the economic power we are going to be if we start working seriously together? So this is the challenge and the task ahead for young people. Can African unity be a merit in their lifetime? I think that's the question every young person must think, because we all be beneficiaries of that.
Thank you, Samia Nkrumah, for your insights that you shared with us today. And dear listeners, don't forget to stay tuned for more interviews to come with other languages. This is Iran, Discriminate.